Elections are over, but the PBA members will soon be asked to vote again, this time for PBA Player of the Year. Will it be the #1 ranked Walter Ray Williams Jr., who's having a very successful campaign, or challenger Bob Learn Jr., the financial leader of the tour? Tonight is a crucial test for both candidates. ESPN and the Professional Bowlers Association present the championship round finals of the Greater Harrisburg Open. We're inside beautiful ABC West Lanes in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike Durbin, and welcome to Post-Election Wednesday. And tonight, we've got 5 candidates vying for the Greater Harrisburg title. And our leading candidate is our #1 qualifier, Bob Learn, who still thinks he can get enough votes to be PBA Player of the Year.
I do. I'm kind of playing a spoiler role here tonight. If I can win, Lord willing, the next 2 weeks, I could maybe pull off another win. I think I'm right there. I think I have a shot.
Our #2 qualifier is Mark Williams, and if he wins at least one game tonight, he'll become the 17th player in PBA history to earn $1 million in his career. But more important, he's looking for his first title in 8.5 years. Our #3 qualifier is a veteran of the PBA Tour, 40 years of age and still looking for that elusive first victory, Billy Oakes. My partner, Marshall Holman, is a touch over 40 years of age himself, and he's arguably with the 2 best players on tour. Take it away, Marshall.
Well, thank you very much, Mike, and I agree with you. Our #5 qualifier, Norm Duke, you're playing inside, you're playing outside. What's your strategy today?
Boys, bowler's choice today, Marshall. You can score them from both.
Well, I wish you luck. Our #4 qualifier, Walter Ray Williams. Walter, just another week at the office looking for back-to-back titles.
That'd sure be nice. I don't know, the lanes are just a touch different today, a little bit more oil. I got to figure out what to do. It's going to be a tough match with Norm.
All right, well, they sound ready. By the way, guys, did you catch my win a couple weeks ago in Detroit?
Yeah, you had us right where you wanted us the whole time, Marshall.
Thank you.
You actually won a tournament?
Walter, you weren't watching? They seem loose. They seem ready. Let's go bowling.
There we have our opening match. Norm Duke, Walter Ray Williams Jr. using lanes 33 and 34 here at ABC West Lanes. And Norm Duke is going to lead off the match. He was trying both angles inside and out in practice. Walter Ray Williams Jr., however, was struggling on lane 34 all through the practice rounds.
Well, a powerful shot for Norm Duke to start out on lane 33. And you're right, it did look like Walter was having trouble on 34, and I see lane 34 as being the key for all bowlers tonight on this telecast.
I don't know that they were giving you enough respect out there, Marshall.
Oh, they've been giving it to me for 20 years.
There's the PBA computer rankings. The top 8 right there. 4 of them are on the telecast tonight, led by, of course, the incomparable Walter Ray Williams Jr.
And Walter started out on the tough lane without any problem whatsoever. You know, and he didn't even start practicing till about 25 minutes after 7. Really kind of unbelievable.
Did you ever do that?
And he starts out with a double. No, Mike, I'll tell you, when they put the lanes on and they said, okay, guys, you can start practicing, I was always the first one to throw the shot.
Yeah, I was too. I wanted every minute that I could get. So, I don't know, we joked about Walter Ray being so confident he could take everybody on in the parking lot, but
he is an amazing player with great concentration. And now going for a double, Norm Duke. Well, they didn't look that easy in practice, partner. I'm telling you, they're just knocking them dead. Here we see Norm Duke. Norm is a 6-step approacher. He carries the ball for a couple steps. Then he gets it into his backswing. Shoulder high, good knee bend, and really a very, very pretty and stylish way to throw the ball.
Did you see that pivot step? He kind of points it to the right as he goes into that next to last step. Unusual. I hadn't noticed that before.
It sets him up for lots of good shots. Oh! That was a huge break, Mike. He got that ball to the right early. It hooked soon, but it hooked out when it got to the end of the lane. Take a look at this shot. You can see that He's in pretty good position right now. Looks like he's in good form, but he gets the ball right soon. And here it starts to hook. And fortunately, it hooked out, kicked out the 4.
Walter going pretty direct.
Walter is going fairly direct. And in practice, he was hooking the ball, and towards the end of practice, he started throwing the ball straighter. I really feel that Walter's a great player hooking it, but he's even better when he goes more direct, when he's straighter with his trajectory.
His 10th telecast this year. Unbelievable. He has 4 wins, 3 seconds, leads in the computer rankings, leads everything. Except money.
Except for money. He has unbelievable focus. He knows that he's great, and he wants to make it every week.
He's talking to it. Walter Ray is perfect through 4 frames. He has a 10-pin lead. Can Norm Duke come back? We know he can. You stay with us. We'll be right back after this. See there the outstanding record of Norm Duke since 1994, especially in 94. Kind of gone down the last couple of years. He's had some distractions. He just moved to Florida, a new baby, different type of business opportunities. They say they've distracted him a little bit from his bowling, but he's focused back now.
Boy, what a great shot after commercial to come back and just give it his Sunday best.
8 shots, 8 strikes.
Well, these are the 2 best bowlers in my mind, even though Norm hasn't shown it this year. Just an excellent player, and he wants to give Walter Ray everything he has. He wants to focus so he
loves
can...
this match, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it had to happen sooner or later. A lot of 10-pins this week.
Yes, there have been. That's another great shot by Norm Duke, but the ball just did not continue to finish into the pocket. It once again did hook out. This time hooked out right in the ring and 10 zone.
Cross lane.
Excellent spare shooter. Kills the ball. Doesn't switch balls. Uses the same ball and just throws it absolutely straight as can be.
And he does it basically by having the hand right behind the ball. I know you used to throw it straighter with a little spin shot.
Yeah, I would just sort of like let the ball squirt off my hand, but he throws it end over end, much like Walter Ray for his spares. Walter Ray going for 5 in a row.
He's talking to it.
Well, we'll take a look at the great Walter Ray Williams, a 5-step approach. He gets the ball started in his 2nd step, textbook there, drops it down, shoulder high, and just really cuts it loose.
Look at the arms.
You know, we said a few weeks ago he looks kind of like a tree, limbs going everywhere, but boy, that tree can play.
It's an oak.
Well, you just don't need those great breaks when you're Walter Ray Williams. That ball was inside of target when he released it. We'll take a look at this pin action right now. He really, really got a great break. Watch this shot. You can see he's light in the pocket. Head pin goes to the sideboard, and it actually pushes the 4-pin into the 2. Great break for him.
Duke steering it into the 1-3 and now asking for a re-rack, I think, on the left lane. I'm not sure. I just trying to read that motion he made. Maybe it wasn't a re-rack. I guess not. Oh, he needed to make an adjustment in his thumb hole, and according to our PBA rules, you have to let the tournament director know that you're going to make an adjustment. Otherwise, that 25-second clock is going to be going, and he did get a re-rack. And he got a re-rack too. So he went for the double hit.
Double hit. He went for re-rack and thumb adjustment. Now he's going for a double.
Exactly.
This cut the lead to 11 pins, and he better get this one.
Just a little early hook. Same one he tripped it for on. This time he didn't get the break.
Might have been a little softer with his speed that time, Mike. I think he's motioning as if he might have turned that ball a little bit early, if I'm reading his body language correctly. Once again, he'll throw the ball very, very straight. Well, he's very disappointed. Doesn't want to give Walter Ray too many breaks. If Walter Ray continues to strike, if he strikes in 7th and 8th, it's going to be almost impossible for Duke to come back. So he needs a little help from Walter right now. But Walter wants to shoot 300.
That's 7. If Walter does it, and we're bowling through commercial right now because he's on a string of 7. Anyway, we're not going to commercial. We're staying with his 7 in a row. If he does it, the PBA is offering $10,000.
Oh, man.
Well, Walter has a sense of history.
Put it right there.
8th frame.
That's it. Yeah.
Ho-hum.
Yeah, Paige Pennington, that's Walter's wife. I don't think she's...
Ho-hum.
She knows he's supposed to strike every ball. That's his job.
Just like ringers.
Yeah.
It was 90% ringers. Now he's getting 90% strikes.
Norm Duke comes back with a great shot.
Remember the PGA Tour, the senior one. ESPN brings you the Energizer Senior Tour Championship. This final event of the 96 Senior PGA Tour will feature the top players fighting for the championship. The action starts Thursday, November the 7th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.
Well, Norm can still shoot 259. He'll need this strike. Hasn't struck in this lane in a while.
Has now.
And it leaves him with just a little glimmer of a chance. He's down 31 pins. And this is a lane that, in my mind, and I believe in Walter's, is the tougher of the two.
Ninth frame. Oh, it carried.
Well, what hasn't Walter Ray Williams done in the last 5 years? I think bowling 300 on TV is the only thing he hasn't done.
She blew out the air a little bit. I guess she is. She's hard to read.
Yeah.
10th frame. His good lane. Ask for a re-rack.
Well, that shot in the 9th pretty much shuts out Norm Duke. And now all Walter wants to do is just keep on striking. Chance to shoot 300. Tell you, I like his chances. That ball's looking great. And you can see Norm Duke applauding. Good sportsmanship.
No practice, or very little. Superb confidence. 10 in a row, and now the machine doesn't set the pins down.
Well, Walter trying to become the 11th man to shoot 300 on television, the 3rd this year. This is for the 11th one. Oh. Well, it's going to be 289 for Walter Ray Williams, Jr.
I got too fast.
You heard him. I got too fast.
Oh, too fast. Try to keep it.
That adrenaline was pumping.
Yeah, you know, he really has a good attitude, because a lot of people would be kicking themselves right now for not taking advantage of this and shooting the 300. And he's kind of laughing it off. Oh, I went a little too fast. Well, that's okay. I'll just keep getting lined up. He'll be fine.
And that's what he did. He didn't even shoot for that spare.
He's trying to make it seem like he missed it accidentally, but he was trying for the pocket, trying to stay lined up.
Norm just finishing it out right now. Leaves the 2-pin, grabs another ball to shoot it.
He's just trying to get out of the way right now. 288 for Walter Ray Williams, Jr. Norm Duke with the spare and a strike on the fill would shoot 238.
Walter Ray is the winner of the opening match, among the 2 best bowlers on tour. When we come back, we'll tell you how close that he came. Stay with us. We'll be right. Walter Jr., the 11th frame. Marshall, take over.
Well, we'll see just exactly what he did in this 11th frame. He got a little bit fast, didn't get the good leverage that he needed. The ball's crying, comes up a little bit light, almost kicks out the 2-pin, as he did earlier in the game. He knows he didn't throw a good shot. You can see it right there.
And in 1993, he's familiar with two pins because Brian Davis shot 299 at him to win the tournament and left a 2-pin.
That's right.
Hard to improve on 288, but you can improve your game if you stay tuned for the Average Builder coming up right after this. Stay tuned. The crowd here, ABC West Lanes in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, just a little ways away from Harrisburg, the capital of Pennsylvania. Billy Oakes from Lawton, Oklahoma. He's 40 years of age, 5'10", 179 pounds, looking for his first PBA victory of any kind.
And Bill likes to throw the ball hard and straight. Ooh. Oh, that's a nice way to get it going. My God, that head pin went to the sideboard and just crushed the 10-pin.
Came off there like a bullet.
Walter even liked that shot. He's smiling about it. And he is so loose.
Well, 5 and 5. He's an equal opportunity striker. I asked Walter Ray if he felt he had PBA Player of the Year wrapped up.
Well, I don't think it's totally wrapped up, but I've definitely got a good shot at it. Bob's probably a leading candidate, and if he wins this week and we're to win next week and the doubles tournament with the ladies, I think he'd have a good shot at it, but I'm going to try and stop him.
Well, he's doing a good job of trying to stop everybody right now.
That's right. He's hitting the pocket, and he's carrying.
I heard him say hook.
Well, you know, Walter, I'm not sure he realizes what he did in that shot, but he turned that ball early. That ball had a lot more side roll on it, and it slid through the front part of the lane. Did not start picking up a roll until it got towards the back end. By then, it's too late. Now he's left himself with a difficult 2-8 spare.
Sounds like you're familiar with that shot.
I know that shot. I've done it too many times.
Better shot there?
Yeah, well, he made a much better shot, stayed behind it, got the kind of roll he wanted. Here he is in that first ball, and you can see, watch, he just turns around it early. Wasn't able to get the good leverage. The ball slid. Now here's a chance for Bill Oakes to put some pressure on Walter Ray Williams Jr.
Hit it. Well, a wiggling 7-pin, but it didn't fall.
And that looked as if Bill just pulled that ball to the left. You can see
he
Bill
aimed it a little bit.
I think he pointed that a little bit too much. That's right. He always goes hard and straight. And no problem with the spare. Bill wanted me to make sure to say hi to his wife Patty and his children Lauren and Nicholas.
Goes back to the ball that he used last night. He just killed him the last 8 games last night. Made a big move from 13th up to 3rd.
Well, actually, Mike, it was the last 7 games. He shot 196 the first game last night and ended up averaging over 250 for the 8 games combined.
Oh, my goodness, the 4-5.
Well,
I can't believe it.
The last shot he threw on that lane, he had that powerful strike that threw the head pin to the sideboard and came back and kicked out the 10-pin. And that shot, this ball, you can watch it going down towards the pocket. It looks pretty good right now, but it hits dead. It deflects a lot to the right.
Doesn't convert the 4-5, a common leave 25 years ago, but not today.
Well, not with the powerful reactive resin balls that we have in the 1990s. That's a very unusual hit, as we can see Walter Ray Williams in 95 with great earnings, and in 96
with greater earnings. Remember the NASCAR Napa 500 on Sunday, November the 10th at 12:40 p.m. Eastern Time. ESPN presents the final race of the Winston Cup season, the NASCAR Napa 500. Tune in for all the top racing on ESPN.
And now we'll see if Walter Ray can take full advantage of that mistake by Bill Oakes. He struck in the 3rd frame. He leads by 13, trying to increase it to 23.
Suddenly, it's the left lane that's giving him the trouble.
Well, that's not what I thought was going to happen. That right lane. So we can hear Walter making some kind of comment. I think he said that's amazing. He can't believe it when his ball doesn't hit the pocket and strikes.
At the 6-10, straight at it, has the conversion. So he stays in the lead, but doesn't add to it.
And he gives Bill Oakes a little bit of a break, both physically and emotionally. If Bill can string a couple of strikes here, he'll be right back in the match. He could cut it down to just a 3-pin deficit. I'm sure he thought Walter would strike there and take the bigger lead.
Billy drills it in there for a plus 4, but still pointing it a little bit on the lane 34.
Well, Bill's game is going more direct. He never throws the ball to the right and hooks it back. He always throws the ball up the boards, holds pocket. You see his career earnings at $242,000 plus. Here we take a look at Bill Oakes' delivery. Starts with the ball hanging low. Very, very little push away at all. Takes small steps and really pulls the ball through hard. Uses a lot of muscle in his delivery.
Where does he get all that speed from? Just strength, huh?
It's got to be just strength, exactly.
His best shot of the match right there.
There he goes, kind of flexing his muscles a little bit.
Come on.
I think Walter's got a little of a letdown in this game.
He very possibly may have. He's trying to encourage himself as we see his TV record.
Hold it. Hasn't missed that lane. He couldn't hit it in practice.
He's actually moved in a little bit, more toward the 6-7 board.
Hit the pocket last time, or in the last game. You can do it. Come on.
You can do it, Walter.
Come on, you can do it.
See how nice he talks to himself?
He likes himself. He should. Page is watching.
Well, it's high line.
I cannot believe it.
Walter in disbelief.
Now that shot, it really looked like it came off his hand the way he wanted it. And he's confused right now, and that confusion may serve Bill Oakes.
At the 2-pin, spare, and he's still ahead by 13 pins, but not adding to the lead.
Here we can see Walter throwing the ball and staying behind the ball longer, and he likes it. Right now, he thinks he's got this strike, but it comes in light.
Walter Ray Williams leads by 13 pins. Can he figure out the left lane? We don't know, but I'm sure he does. We'll find out right after this. Durbin along with Marshall Holman. We're at ABC West Lanes in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania for the championship round finals of the Greater Harrisburg Open. In the opening match, Walter Ray Williams defeated Norm Duke 288 to 238. We're now in the 6th frame of the second match. Billy Oakes trailing by 13 pins. A strike here can cut it to 3. Is the oil carrying down, or the oil's just not making good shots?
I think the oil is carrying down, but you can see a look of confusion on Bill Oakes' face, and that was a huge shot for him. He had a chance to cut the lead down to 3. Walter Ray Williams Jr. having trouble with the left-hand lane. Now Bill Oakes has left himself with a very difficult 2-4-8 conversion. He'll stay outside, throw it a little slower, hook it into it. And a great.
I asked Billy Oakes if he could fantasize about winning this tournament, how would he feel?
It'd have to be a feeling of ecstasy. It'd have to be a feeling of accomplishment for the time that I've put in out here, and a major load off my shoulders for finally winning on TV and not having somebody shoot a big game at me for the title. I mean, it's been a lot of hard work, and I'd like to finish it out with the title.
He's got his work cut out for him to do that. Got a break, left only the 6-pin, but he mentioned about people shooting big games in championship matches. Steve Fields, 279. Mike Albee, 289.
Nothing can be done against that, Mike. As he shoots to the 6-pin cross alley and makes it no problem. Right now, the one thing that Bill Oakes has going for him is that Walter Ray hasn't thrown a double. Walter giving himself words of encouragement to go up and get this one. He struck every time on the right lane this game.
And last game.
All right, come on.
Yeah, now in the last game, he struck his first 5 shots
What are you going to do?
on the left-hand lane, and the last 4 shots he has not struck there.
Hope it doesn't hit too much.
Well, it sounds like he's going to move back a little right.
There goes nothing.
As we see Walter concentrating, looking for that first double to put a lot of heat on Bill Oakes.
That's going to hurt. Yeah!
Well, there's a lot of emotion there.
Marshall, has that happened to you where you've been lined up on one lane and then lost it and then gone back and forth?
It's a very, very easy thing to have happen, Mike, especially when you go from one game and then you sit around for a couple minutes as we have commercials and your opponent is practicing. It is not unusual at all to just lose your focus or lose 1 or 2 of the lanes.
Better shot.
That's Bill Oakes' best shot of the match. Very, very aggressive.
9th frame. Key.
And he's down by 24 pins, and he knows Walter Ray is going to be able to get some marks, so he needs to strike here in the 9th frame, cut the deficit to 14.
Walter taking a peek at the score as we have it off to the right here. I think he was doing that. He knows how important the shot is to Billy. And the bucket. Just didn't get the ball reaction he had last night. Lanes are a little different today.
Yeah, as we see this delivery here, this is the way Bill Oakes likes to throw it, hard and straight, but it catches maybe a little bit more of the conditioner and never does turn up to the pocket.
And he misses the spare, sealing his fate in this second game of the evening. Walter Ray, in a business-like manner, getting up in another strike on lane 34.
And Walter can feel very fortunate that Bill Oakes didn't put any pressure on him this match, because he really spent most of the match kind of lost himself.
Now he finally misses lane 34. There it is. I remember, Marshall, I did a tip a year or 2 ago about positive self-talk and all that, and my tip was to treat yourself like you would your doubles partner. And it seems to me that Walter Ray does that. He treats himself like his own doubles partner.
Yes, he does. He doesn't beat himself up. He knows he made a bad shot there. He says, that's okay, let's just spare it up.
I don't know. I think self-talk can be just so important, and his seems so good.
Well, it is, and everybody at this level physically is exceptionally talented. And I really believe that the best players, the dominant players, are the great mental players.
And his first solid 10.
That's good.
And we remember a couple of weeks ago in Rochester when he left all those 10 pins, he never got down on his brakes or luck or fate or anything like that. He just rode them out and rode it on to victory.
Yeah, he's really a lesson to be learned for all of us watching Walter Ray Williams and the way that he works throughout the length of a tournament.
10 strikes in the last game. This game, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If he strikes here, it'll be 6. Thing is, it's 2 victories. And on to the semifinal match against another Williams, but this time Mark.
And Mark will be hooking the ball quite a bit more than Walter.
Tried something a little different there.
Now, Walter actually moved in further to the left and tried to throw the ball right with more turn and hook it back. It didn't work out, but that's Walter always thinking, as Bill Oakes is going to finish 4th, $4,000, a nice week, but he's got to be disappointed.
Pops it right in there.
Now pressure's off and pins fall easily.
Walter Ray finishing with 206.
Bill Oakes can get 2 more strikes for 184.
My pressure's off.
Yeah, I think Bill would like to bowl this game over again, because I really feel like the lanes really accommodated his direct kind of style, but he just wasn't able to make a couple of key shots.
You said something funny that Walter likes. Billy has a kind of selfie-facing humor. He finishes as he starts with a strike. He had, let's see, six of them that game. More than Walter Ray, but he's a loser. We'll be back with the semifinal match right after this. Stay with us. Some of the other people that made money this week. In the runner-up spot, Rick Steelsmith looking to make his first singles telecast since 1992, but he lost the position round to Norm Duke to just miss.
Doug Kent won his first PBA title at the Greater Detroit Open earlier this year.
A familiar name and face, Brian Goebel, captured this year's Tucson Open. He made his broadcast debut on ESPN with me just 3 weeks ago.
And rounding out the top 20, Mike Edwards, a consistent performer looking to regain that winning form of 1994.
This year's Brunswick World Tournament of Champions winner, Dave D'Intermont, has had problems with a bad foot this summer. Our congratulations to all the cashers this week in Mechanicsburg.
With me, Gary Bauer, co-proprietor here at ABC West Lanes in Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Gary, our 5th tournament here. Very successful year once again.
Yes, it's been a very great year, and we've been very fortunate over the years. And, of course, we have great finalists in the action again this year, so we're very pleased.
Every year, a Floridian winning this tournament. Do you think Norm Duke has the upper hand this year?
Well, it sounds like it by the past records, so we'll see what happens tonight.
All right, thank you very much.
In our semifinal match, after Walter Ray defeated Billy Oaks 206 to 184, we've got Williams versus Williams. It sounds like a law firm, but it's a PBA game. Stay with it. Mark Williams on our right, Walter Ray Williams on our left. Mark will start the match and make Walter finish. Well, we don't know what is his tough lane now.
Yeah, it's hard to say. And in practice, Mark certainly was having more trouble on the right lane, but he's chosen to finish on that lane. As you can see right there, he does hook the ball more than Walter Ray Williams.
More than anybody on the telecast.
And that's exactly right. He does hook the ball more than anybody on our telecast tonight, as Walter Ray has had 6 strikes on lane 33, 9 on lane 34.
Breaks the 4-9 down.
That's all right.
It's okay, partner. Here we can see Walter's shot on the right-hand lane, a lane he's been striking on at will, but comes a little high, gets the nice trip of the 4-pin, leaves only the 9.
Knocks that off with no trouble. Heads to lane 33.
Did the left lane hooking earlier, hooking more earlier, and now the right lane seems to be.
4 times in first place, 3 times second place. He's fought for the title 7 times. If he wins this game, it'll be 8 times this year.
That's an incredible career, let alone year.
Come on, get up there.
Yeah. He likes talking to that bowling ball, and it always listens.
It seems to. And funny how those guys that wear the mic seem to get good breaks. As Mark Williams from Beaumont, Texas gets up for 2 in a row.
Oh, speaking of a guy who has not had good breaks on television, this is one of the guys.
Yeah, Mark has had a lot of problems trying to win. Hasn't won since 1988. Trying to become one of the PBA millionaires. If he wins this match, he will be assured of going over $1 million in career earnings. But he's going to have to knock a few more 10-pins down.
And beat the best player in the game.
Yeah, and Walter has every reason to be completely loose, and Mark has many reasons to be a little nervous right now.
And a little uptight.
Yeah, and that equates into 9 on pocket shots instead of 10. That being a little bit nervous, maybe a little more of a squeeze.
Hit him like that, though, and they go down.
A beautiful shot. Really unfortunate in the second frame to leave that 10-pin. He could find himself in a nice lead right now, but as it stands, the match is all even. Walter Ray with a chance to take a 10-pin lead here in the 3rd frame. 14th year on tour with 20 titles. That's very impressive. Came in a little light, and usually that light hit
sweep
the
them out.
bowler's friend. Usually it'll carry them all. We can see Walter cutting it loose. He never is tentative about his delivery. A little bit light. Leaves the half 10.
Switches balls. Goes straight at the 10 pin.
You can listen to this ball roll.
His nickname, as we all know, is Deadeye.
And it's a nickname that he's earned.
In more ways than one.
Yeah, both bowling and with his horseshoe pitching, which is also quite remarkable.
Match all even, fourth frame. Back up.
Oh, yeah, he was praying for that ball to stop hooking.
It did. This ball listens.
Yeah, listen, he gets his ball way to the right early. Now watch it hook. And he's going back up because he knows his ball's coming in high. But it stopped. It hooked out.
Mark trying for a double and the lead. Oh. Gosh, neither guy can strike on the right lane.
You would think that Mark would carry some of these off hits in these key situations. As he averages 246.67 on the TV pair, he liked this pair all week long.
Walter, on the other hand, only averaged 219 on it. College football on ESPN. It's Wyoming, led by wide receiver Marcus Harris. They're going to go up against San Diego State and their running back, George Jones. Tune in on Thursday, November the 7th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time.
Mark Williams going for a strike in the left lane to keep the match all even. And another perfect delivery on the left-hand lane.
And he picked the finish on the right-hand lane.
And I watched him in practice for 45 minutes struggling on that right-hand lane. But maybe he feels that Walter Ray is having such a tough time on the left-hand lane that he wants to make him finish there.
Walter trying for the first double, and he leaves a solid 10. So right now, right now, we are 5 for 5 on the left lane in strikes, and 0 for 5 on the right lane in strikes for both players.
Once again, Walter with that harder ball going straight. No problem with the 10-pin conversion. And he left that 10. He leaves the 10-pin, and he goes, well, that's okay. That's all right. Good shot. He's patting himself on the back.
Well, he's not following behind. That's part of the reason. If he were falling behind, he might not be doing that.
That could be, Mike.
Trying to stay perfect on this lane, and he does. Screaming at that ball to hook, and it does. This is our semifinal match. It's all even after 5.5 frames. Williams versus Williams. Which Williams will come out on top? We'll find out when we come back. Don't go away. Marshall, can you spare $2,919? That's all Mark needs to get to the million mark. If he finishes third, loses this match, he'll wind up with his third one. If he finishes second, he's going to wind up there. I asked him how important that was to him.
If I do happen to reach the $1 million mark in career earnings, it's really not that big a deal to me. It's taken me 17 years. It's been a really good career, but the main thing is winning tournaments out here. I haven't won in 8.5 years, and tonight I've got another chance to win. I'm going to go out and do the best I can.
It's like he feels the $1 million is inevitable, but winning a tournament is not.
That's exactly what it seemed like he was saying, but I know it would mean a lot to him to go over that $1 million mark, and he's working on a strike, has a chance to take the lead, hasn't struck on this lane yet.
Has now.
Oh, that was perfect. Just what he's looking for right there. He needed to make that good shot, and he needed to have the bowling gods, look down on him and say, okay, we'll let you strike this time.
Of course, if he does win this match, and right now we can see he's up by 10 pins, he'll join a very exclusive club of which you are a member of, a $1 million club for the PBA.
Well, thank you, Mike. It is fun. It's great to do it, but he does want to win. And right now he's looking very, very sharp. You can see the concentration. He's out there working very, very hard. He knows how important it is.
And Walter, this is where he always seems to tune it up a notch, and he has to do it again.
I completely expect him to strike on this shot. It's just the way Walter Ray Williams works.
Second. All right.
And he did not disappoint himself, and he didn't disappoint me.
Or his millions of fans out there.
Very popular player. As you can see, Mark looking on.
Very confident player himself. But
Well-
it's got to be an inner battle without the win in 8 years.
Yeah, he knows that he's been doing quality work for the past 7 or 8 years without winning, but he needs that win to really cap it off.
To even the match.
And carry.
Well, he can step it up when he needs to, Mike.
Did you see that little touch of hands there?
They've been doing that the entire match.
That's an appreciation of the other guy's match. You give me your best shot, I'm still going to beat you.
That's right. Now Mark in the 8th frame of that right lane.
He is throwing it beautiful.
He seemed to have figured something out of the right-hand lane, and he's not hooking the ball as much as he was during practice. Still hooking it a lot more than Walter. As Walter takes a look at the scoreboard, he knows he's 10 pins down.
Well, if they both strike out, Mark is going to come out on top. He started 1 frame earlier than Walter Ray.
Well, and Mark takes a re-rack on the left-hand lane. Must have seen something he didn't like. In order for Mark to have his fate in his own hands, he needs to strike in the 9th frame, or else Walter Ray Williams can close him out.
Double re-rack. Extra time. Oh, no, he's waiting for the rack. A double re-rack.
Well, he didn't like the first one, and I guess he didn't like the second one.
Is that going to break his concentration?
At this particular point, I don't think so. If he has a tendency, he misses right, likes to hook the ball back.
Still couldn't get that 10 pin out. Double re-rack and still left a solid 10.
Maybe he should have shot the first rack.
Obviously,
that's very unfortunate. You can see this ball going far to the right. It starts making its move about 40 feet. It looks good. 6 pin right around the 10. Needs to regroup, pick up this spare.
Does is still in the lead by 9 pins.
But now Walter Ray Williams can strike in the 9th, 10th, and 11th and win this match. So Mark doesn't have the luxury of being able to control his own fate right now. He needs some help from Walter Ray. To take a 1-pin lead with this strike.
Hold, carry. Thank you.
That ball was inside of his target. He's talking to it to hold, and then carry.
All right.
Carry it does as he takes the lead with that strike in the 9th frame.
Trust it. Trust it.
Gotta trust it.
He's telling himself to make sure to trust it on the left-hand lane after pulling the ball a little bit and holding pocket on the right.
Come on. No, just a hair hard. No, wrong. Oh, man.
The 2-8.
Well, a little bit firm with that shot through the ball, a little hard, didn't give the ball a chance to make the turn up to the pocket. And as we saw that little shot of Mark Williams, he might have been thinking to himself, about time I got a break.
I can do it.
And I think he knows he can hit the pocket.
At the 2-8, tough spare. Tie is in the offering.
Well, it's certainly very possible right now. Mark Williams with a 1-pin lead. Walter needs to strike here.
Go ahead, get it out.
Very important shot for Walter right now. He knows if he strikes on this ball for 228, he forces Mark Williams to strike on the first ball, and then Mark to win the match. That's what he wanted in the first ball, Mike Durbin.
228. Mark Williams needs to fill 20 in the 10th frame. Strike right here and then a spare.
He needs to have a strike. If he gets anything less than 9, Walter Ray wins this match. He needs 9, would love to have 10.
9. Got that in a little bit.
He got that in a little bit. Might have been a touch slow with that ball. Now he has to make this, and he must strike on his fill ball in order to tie. They'd go into a 2-frame roll-off.
9th and 10th frame.
A 9th and 10th frame roll-off with a possibility of 60 for a perfect game.
At the 4-pin. Dead center. What's he going to do, Marsh? What's your prediction?
Well, he just came in a little bit high. He's got to give this ball more room.
Will he strike?
I think he will strike. I really do. I definitely look for this ball to be in the pocket.
For the tie.
Well, I was wrong, and Mark Williams has got to be devastated. Did not make a good shot.
Walter Ray Williams Jr. wins his third match of the night. Mark had a chance, loses by 1 pin. There it is.
Here we see Mark Williams on the right-hand lane. He needs to strike here, but he just doesn't let the ball go. He doesn't make an aggressive shot. A little bit tentative, doesn't get the ball far enough to the right. It hooks high, and right now he needs a good break. He gets the 10 out, but needed to have something get that 3. He knows it's a bad ball right now. Yeah, very, very disappointing for Mark Williams.
There's the final score. 1 pin the difference. Back and forth the entire match. Walter Ray comes out the winner by 1 pin, 228 to 227. All year long, bowlers gather points for a tournament at the end called the Merit Tournament. And here we see the Merit point leadings led, of course, by that great Walter Ray. He's way out in front of everybody else. I was interested to see that David Traber was in second place, Marshall.
Well, David did a lot of really, really good bowling earlier this year, at the end of last year, for these points.
And, of course, Bob Learn right now in 5th place. If he would win tonight, he could have, 2,200 points to that total?
I believe he would go into second place on the Merits points.
Of course, Mark Williams is going to finish 3rd, so he will add to that point total. Our statistician every week out in the truck, Butch Soper, down that list. The great Brian Voss won every year for 10 years in a row, but he hasn't won yet this year, has he?
Hasn't won yet this year. Pete Weber, who is really having a resurgence, bowling great again, and I look for him to bowl good again next week.
Justin Romick, who was the alternate here, or finished 25th. Eric Forkel, we saw him win with Gene Stuss in the senior Touring Pro doubles. Rick Steelsmith just missed this week.
Really a heartbreak for Rick Steelsmith. Hasn't made a singles telecast since 1992. Needed to win his match against Norm Duke last night. Fell a little short, finished 6th. And Steve Wilson has won twice this year, both times from the top seed, once in this country, once in Japan.
Got a lot of money for that one over in Japan,
too. He certainly did.
Of course, John Mazza, we saw him a few weeks ago. Norm Duke lost in the opening match tonight.
And Norm really looked very, very sharp. He just ran up against Walter Ray Williams 10 in a row and really nothing he could do. As we see Curtis Odom, a very consistent player, Steve Jaros, who made the top 24 this week, and Tim Chris, also another one of our top 24 finalists this week.
Brian Goebel was on taking your place when you won your tournament in Detroit a few weeks ago. And, of course, Randy Peterson, who finished 2nd at the Bayer Brunswick Touring Players Championship last year when he lost to Ernie Schlegel.
What a heartbreak that was when Randy left that solid 8. He did everything a professional needed to do, but it wasn't enough. Got the bad break and finished 2nd. Philip Ringener in 23rd. Dave Arnold in 24th. And Jess Stayrook is the man who's looking for a good finish next week to get into that top 24 and make that Merit point.
Well, we wind up having a battle here between the 2 players that have a chance for PBA Player of the Year. There's Bob Learn and there's Walter Ray. Who's going to come out on top? Well, we'll find out in just a minute. Stay with us. And now it's time for Championship Frame. And in our opening match, Walter Ray was on 10 in a row, or 9 in a row going on this. This is the first in the 10th.
Trying to shoot 300, but more importantly, Mike Durbin, trying to beat Norm Duke. He likes the way that ball is looking down the lane. Scatters those pins on that light hit. Watch this reaction. Oh, yeah, baby.
Thinking of 300 then. Didn't get the next one. Left the 2-pin, but won the game handily. 288 to 238. That earned him the right to move on against Billy Oakes. Had an easier time, but we're in the 8th frame. He's looking for his first double this game.
After having 10 in a row in the previous game, he's in the 8th frame, as you said, Mike, looking for the first double. Having trouble on the left-hand lane, makes a much better delivery, gets the ball out to the right, into the drier part of the lane, lets the ball hook up. There's that first double.
His reaction.
He's running.
Not as big, but still a win. 206 to 184. Now it's Williams versus Williams. Walter Ray finished with 228. Mark, what's he need here?
And Mark has to strike to tie, to send it into a 9th and 10th frame roll-off. Doesn't quite get the protection, doesn't throw the ball far enough right. It's hooking early. He gets 9, and that's a loser.
227, he loses to Walter Ray's 228. The disappointment all over his face. Another defeat in a crucial situation for Mark Williams. The only time he missed the pocket in that entire game. That sets up, though, the leading money winner, Bob Learn, going against the second leading money winner, Walter Ray Williams Jr. We'll be back with that right after this. Who can forget Ernie Slagle's performance last year at the Bayer Brunswick Touring Players Championship? We can hardly wait for this year's excitement next Tuesday, November 12th, 7:30 p.m. at Robert Morris College. That goes to the winner, Learn versus Williams, and Bob has chosen to finish on that right lane.
Well, this is the match that we were talking about before we even got started tonight, Mike. A battle between the number 1 and 2 players this year. Learn going with the big hook.
Wow. He threw it much straighter than that all week.
Yeah, he's decided to vary his game a little bit for this telecast. Instead of going real straight from the outside, he's hooking the ball more, kind of a la what Mark Williams was doing.
And Mark had a great shot, except for the final ball.
Yes, he did. Walter for a strike on the right-hand lane, and that ball was high all the way. You know, it's just the better you are, the luckier you are also. As you can see, Walter on the right-hand lane. This ball is inside of target, but Walter gets the job done, somehow gets the ball to stop. It looks high to me, but there's a strike.
Trying for a quick double.
Very strong delivery.
Come on, you got to get it to the right.
Kind of scolded himself a little bit there.
Walter knows on the right-hand lane he can throw it more direct. On the left-hand lane, he has to get it to the right, as he was saying to himself.
Wants to swing it more there.
Exactly.
At the 10 pin. Again converts it with no trouble, but opens the door, a crack for Bob Learn Jr.
You know, and Bob Learn has just been sitting off the side for the last hour watching the Walter Ray Williams show. But he's an extraordinarily confident player. Qualified first this week with an average of 227.5. That'll usually get it done. You can see he's got that bent over delivery. 5-step and pushes away in his second. Now he almost, well, he doesn't almost, he does. He rears up at the foul line. He actually lifts up, but watch the way the ball goes way, way right and then hooks strongly back into the pocket. And boy, he has nice carry, scatters them all over the place.
55 sanctioned 300 games. And you see, he didn't have any trouble with Walter Ray in the match play.
No, he defeated him handily earlier. That ball, he got off his hand and spun it. And he got around that ball, and that's why the ball did not recover and get back up the pocket.
It looked to me, whatever his self-talk there, was not positive towards himself.
No, he was scolding himself. This is possible to make, but very, very doubtful.
Almost bounced it out there. Had a pin going over there. Big shot. Walter Ray takes the lead sitting on the bench.
Yeah, especially after Learn starts out with a double. Looks like he's in good position to start with 3 in a row, but got around that ball a little early.
Hooked a little.
Hooked a little, he says. And it carries that 7-pin. We mentioned that Walter Ray is in his 10th telecast this year. We see right there, there's his record. 16-5 going into this game.
Those are career numbers for a lot of players. A lot of players don't get a chance to win 16 matches on national television. Walter Ray just having, as we said earlier, a career year. But he seems to do that every year.
For the double.
That's got a hook. Yeah. That's it right there. Come on.
Now he got that ball out to the right the way he wanted to. That's the lane he needs to swing the ball on. And Bob Learn best start striking up right now as he takes a 16-pin deficit, Bob Learn does, into the fourth frame.
A lot of room. Left the 4-pin.
Didn't quite like that delivery.
I think he's actually more comfortable going straighter. Of course, I remember when he used to hook it like this all the time.
Yeah, as you can see, he averaged 252 on this particular pair.
At the 4-pin, no trouble, but he sacrifices another frame and is still behind in this match by 16 pins with nothing to work on.
Now going back on the left-hand lane, Bob Learn Jr. knows it's time to start striking. Walter Ray Williams Jr. has had a lot of time to get ready for him. Much better delivery. Still, now it hooks a little bit high. That could possibly be the result of the way that he overturned it, got around the ball for that 2-4-8-10, the previous frame on the left lane.
We see Gary Bauer on the left and his father Jack on the right. They are co-proprietors at ABC West Lanes, also East and North. They own 3 centers in the Mechanicsburg area.
Yes, they do, Mike. Walter Ray Williams going for 3 in a row here to give him a 27-pin lead early in this match. Yeah! And you can see he's playing this right-hand lane much straighter. Doesn't look like Walter Ray's going to add to his second-place career finishes.
27 of them. And there's a guy there that knows a little bit about second-place finishes.
Well,
he's sitting right next to me. 31 of them there, Mark.
That's very, very unfortunate, but they paid a lot of bills.
I'm sure they did. And you were bowling for the title all those times, as he is.
Well, there's a fortunate break for Walter Ray. That's the lane he wants to get the ball out to the right on. He got it to the right, but a little bit early as he talks to himself.
All right, come on. Come on.
As you can see, this ball is going to go right early, and that's where the dry part of the lane is. Right now, he's just hoping he doesn't split. Just wants to stay clean and make this spare
at the 6-10. We could project Walter Ray as the winner, but we've decided it's too early. We need more frames to find out what's going to happen. And Learn come back. Stay tuned. Bob Learn, 17th career TV appearance. Even money right now. Big average. He'd like to get some strikes to get towards that 233 average.
Well, and he's going to need a Mike. Right now, he's down by 25 pins going into the 6th frame. A much better delivery, and there's his wife, Stacy Learn.
A PGA Golf Tour reminder, the season is officially over, but the pros don't stop. They're now playing in Hawaii. Tough duty. Tune in at 4 p.m. tomorrow for the Lincoln Mercury Kapalua International right here on ESPN.
Well, the most important shot in the match right now for Bob Learn. Can cut the lead down to 15, and I really think he's going to have this strike. And he liked that delivery. He thought that ball would hook back.
He's running out of frames in a hurry right now. That's the 7th frame. He just had to strike there.
Well, I think so. I mean, it's certainly not mathematically over, but he is bowling against Walter Ray Williams Jr., who isn't someone who's going to make too many mistakes. As we see wife Stacy looking on, a little concerned.
At the 2-4-8.
And he throws the ball hard and straight at the 2-4-8. I would prefer to hook into that, but I'm up here talking about it, and he's down there doing it, so he must know what's going on.
Took a little frustration out on that spare, I think.
He does throw it very, very hard on the spares.
Walter, 7th frame, leading by 25 pins. Ooh, that crept a little high. Could have had company, but only the 4-pin.
And I would think the next time, Walter once again encouraging himself. I think when he gets up on this right lane, the next frame, don't be surprised to see Walter move his feet a little bit left and also move his target a little left to catch a little more conditioner earlier in his swing.
at the 4-pin. And again, no trouble. Walter filling the frames. Well, I guess we have to get into the position of potential scores. If Learn strikes out, what can he get?
Well, I believe he can shoot 223 if he is to strike out.
So
and right now, Walter working on a 217 pace.
So it's still in. You can do it with a pencil. You can do it with a bowling ball.
That's right, Mike. It's still up for grabs here. But Walter is in good position.
Come on! Oh, thought it was there.
He is so entertaining to watch. Only one wearing a microphone tonight, right?
Well, you know, the one wearing the microphone is the one who gets the good breaks.
Walter wears it every week.
I think he must be superstitious. It says he has no superstitions, but maybe wearing the microphone could be one of them.
Cross lane at the 10-pin. Good. You heard from Walter. It's good. 23 pins, 8 frame. Learn's got to put it together right now.
Well, he's still alive, but 10 frames in a game can go by very, very fast when you're behind.
Still alive. Stacy knows. Most important shot of the week coming up right now.
And what does he do on this left-hand lane? The last time he threw the ball, he really thought he made a good delivery.
You re-rack. That's what you do.
What you do is you re-rack to give yourself a little more time to think about. He's probably looking at the pins and going, that 1-3 is too tight. That's what it looked like to me. It looked like the 1 and the 3 were a little bit, maybe the head pin a little bit off to the right. This rack looks a little bit better. It looks good enough for Bob Learn to blow a little air into that thumb hole to get a secure grip and get up and make the shot of his life right here. He needs this for really any chance against Walter Ray.
Whoa, that tilted, Marshall.
Oh, that was a very, very aggressive shot. And boy, he just loves this. Watch this shot. He really throws the ball far to the right. This ball gets out to maybe 2 board. 10 in the pit, and watch this reaction. You're darn right this is going to strike.
13 pins. Walter, 9th frame.
Come on.
Press high again.
Did Walter move or did he not?
Walter at the 4-pin. If he converts it, he'll lead by 12 going into the 10th frame. His fate is still in his own hands.
Yes, it is. And no trouble making that. Right now, if Walter Ray were to get 2 strikes and 9, he would shut out Bob Learn. But if he doesn't,
Bob's still got a chance.
Bob's got a chance, and he certainly has been very optimistic in the past. So if I'm Walter Ray Williams, I want to shut this kid out.
Come on, got a strike.
Walter took a re-rack, didn't he? And I see right on that shot. I believe he did. In any case, he's shooting this rack, leading by 12. And Bob's not looking.
This is the lane that Walter likes to throw the ball further to the right on, make the ball hook back into the pocket. Oh, my gosh!
It was halfway over. What does it have to tilt, 8 or 9 degrees to fall?
Whatever it was about a half degree away. This is such a high percentage strike. Look, the ball hits the 5-pin. It's going over, isn't it? Isn't it?
Those are flat bottoms on those pins. And it's not on spot now. His reaction?
He can't believe it. Huh. Well, he'll go up and make this 5-pin, I would imagine.
Walter now, if he strikes, finishes with 214, makes Learn get 2 in the 10th. In fact, if he gets 9,
if he needs to get 9 or 10. 9 is as good as 10 right now for Walter Ray.
If he got 8, we could get a tie.
There could be a possibility of a tie, but I just don't see Walter missing the pocket.
Here's the key. 214. Will it be enough? Bob Learn has his chance.
Well, and Bob Learn couldn't ask for anything more right now. I really think he probably thought in the middle of this game he wasn't going to have a chance.
And this is what this guy can do. Average 280 for 3 games and 282 for 4 games in Erie, Pennsylvania. He's trying for his second leg on the Pennsylvania sweep. Oh, the solid 10 smashes his fist, and Walter just simply says, all right.
And that might be Bob Learn Jr.'s one chance at Player of the Year. And he made a very, very good shot as he shook Walter Ray's hand.
Couldn't have thrown it any better. Cross lane at the 10 pin.
As you can see, this ball is going way to the right, just the way he likes it. 6 pin goes right around the 10 pin. He thinks he's got it. He thinks he's got it.
A little anger right there, but who can blame him?
He's mad.
Change in strategy here. Now the 2 pin falls forward. 202. Walter Ray Williams is the winner. 214. Bob Learn. 202. There's your champion. We'll be back to talk with him. You stay with us. And it seems to win every tournament. Walter Ray Williams Jr. Well, is Player of the Year wrapped up now?
Well, that definitely gave me a good leg up, but wow, that was just amazing. I got a lot of good breaks today. I threw the ball pretty decent. Lane's got a little tricky out there, but fortunately it all went my way.
Well, Marshall's got a question or two for you.
Walter, in the 10th frame, you threw that shot as coming in light, and the 5 pin was all but over. Did you think that was down?
I thought it was going to go down, but after it stood up, that didn't make me feel very good, because I knew Bob was probably going to throw a couple good shots, and he did. Unfortunately for him, he just left the ring in 10.
Here's your reaction to that shot.
Well, I knew it was going to hook up, and usually you can get the ball to hit the 5 pin out. For some reason, it looked like about 13 pounds.
Well, Walter, you got the bad break leaving the 5 pin, but then Bob Learn gets up in the 10th frame, needs 2 strikes to win, and he leaves that solid 10, which was your big.
He threw a great shot. I mean, that ring in 10, that's about as good a shot as you want to throw. Some people say you want to move off of that, but it's hard to move off of a great shot like that. And it's just a bad break on his part. He bowled great all week, led the tournament, and that's
5 wins in 1 year, Walter. 5 first-place finishes.
Yeah, that's not too bad. I'd like to do this more often.
Well, Walter Ray, you seem to do it every week. We've got to go right now. For Marshall Holman, rather, this is Mike Durbin saying so long from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania, where Walter Ray Williams Jr. is the winner of the Greater Harrisburg Open. Be sure to join us next week for the Bayer Brunswick Touring Players Championship from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's on Tuesday night, different day, 7:30 Eastern Time. Stay tuned for the World Masters Billiards Championship. This has been a presentation by ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.